right, hello wine drinking people. We're back. It's Friday, August 13th. Ooh, ah. And it's time for the What I Had to Drink Last Night portion of the show. And for those of you paying attention to our calendar of events, you know we had a Truchard dinner at the HighLife Cafe. This is one of the more popular restaurants here in East Broward. I think these guys have been around for like 15 years. Chuck and Carlos, the two guys that have operated it for that entire time, up until just recently. The boys sold it. Congratulations, guys, for selling the show to a European couple, Carlo and his wife. Very nice people. I met them for the first time last night. This is a restaurant that, man, you could pretty much set on autopilot with Carlo still in the kitchen. And all you need is someone up there smiling, saying good night and good evening in a place like this. Because like I said, the wait staff works like a well-oiled machine. These guys did a great job with the service last night. Carlos with the food. I've always liked the food here because simple and the flavors are always spot on. It's gourmet, but it's not overdone. There's not too much on the plate. And like I said, the flavors, the most important thing, really shine through. Last night's menu was spectacular. First, we started out with the little Roussanne. This is a Rhone varietal, and the Truchard winery was our featured winery. Although Tony and Ann were not there last night, we did have Felicia, who works for Truchard locally here in the market, and she was on hand to answer questions and tell people all about this little slice of heaven in Carneros. Carneros is a crescent moon-shaped appellation that stretches from Sonoma into Napa. It's on the southern end of Napa, and Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, cooler climate varietals do very well here. However, they do have Merlot and Cabernet that's really good in their vineyard side also. And the Truchards, like I said, everything they make, outstanding. Small winery, about 10,000 cases total production. They sell most of their fruit to other wineries that charge 2 or 3 times the price of what they charge for their wines. The Roussanne, excellent. This is, as I mentioned before, Rhone varietal, and you had some lovely fruit with this, and they had about 4 different appetizers, so it's kind of tough when you pair one wine with 4 different foods, especially when one of them's blue cheese. But the other stuff went pretty good with it, and I would have to say one of the more popular wines of the night with the crowd, the Roussanne, has this lovely apricot kind of fruit to it, peach, and then a little bit of a kind of a perfume floral note, lovely weight on the palate, and density and richness, and then good freshness on the finish. A really nice wine, and like I said, a crowd pleaser. All right, and then next up we had Chardonnay. Nope, sorry, this is one of the most popular wines the Truchards are known for, and we didn't have this last night for some reason. Maybe it's because they sell all of it. So they focused on the varietals, maybe they're a little more difficult to sell, but we do have Chardonnay in the store from Truchard, the 06 vintage, and as I mentioned before, one of the more popular wines from them. We had the Pinot Noir next, and the Pinot Noir, wow, man, this was just outstanding. The wine just kept getting better and better in the glass, and this wine had some lovely red cherry, kind of black raspberry fruit, and exotic spice, and then a little bit of smokiness to it as well. Another thing that you get from Pinot Noir. All this lovely fruit and still wonderful freshness and acidity on the finish. One of the things that makes a wine go great with food, that acidity. Okay, next up, we had a little Syrah. The crowd was a little mixed on the Syrah last night. It had this kind of really strong herbal and a little bit of a gamey character, and Syrah never really caught on in the United States for that reason. Well, United States Syrahs didn't. The Australian stuff is still going like gangbusters at the low end, but this wine's a little more like a Northern Rhone-esque style rather than an Australian style, rather than full-blown and fruity. A lot of earthy and herbal kind of things going on here, and that was pretty good. And that was served with... that was served with the tuna course, and that spice from the pepper really helped tie it together. And they served a pasta course with the tuna, which the tuna and the pasta kind of worked pretty well together. I wouldn't say it was a marriage made in heaven, but you know, one of the important things about pairing food and wine is you don't want the food to take away from the wine or vice versa, and everything worked in that respect last night very well. So tuna served with the Syrah, pretty nice pairing there. And then the next dish, man, it's hard to beat steak and Cabernet Sauvignon. They did this lovely little blueberry glaze to it, mashed potatoes with a little bit of bacon. Man, if you don't have bacon on the plate with mashed potatoes, something is wrong here. And you don't even need to salt it to me. Just sprinkle bacon on. Would you like salt? No, I'll just take some bacon on top of my mashed potatoes, please. All right, and the Cabernet, like I said, not a cool climate varietal, but parts of their vineyard obviously a little warmer. This wine from the '05 vintage, an outstanding vintage for Cabernet from California. Dark chocolate, cassis berry fruit, some lovely fresh earth to this wine, cigar box spice, fairly complex, big and chewy on the palate. Layers of spice and earth on the finish. A really nice wine at a great price, $26.50. And then the star of the evening, the late harvest Botrytis Roussanne. Wow. I love dessert wines. We probably have enough dessert wine here in the store to last, 20 years. They sell a bottle at a time, but the great thing about dessert wines is they'll age forever. This Roussanne had this lovely apricot and peaches fruit on the nose, this honey character, lovely floral quality, sweet on the palate, but had this incredible bright acidity, leaving your palate fresh. Probably went great with the dessert, but I don't need dessert, man. I drink 1 to 2 bottles of wine a night. You got to stop somewhere. All right, excellent job last night, guys, at the HighLife Cafe. I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. Keep an eye out for events on the calendar with the HighLife. All right, I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, for the Wine Watch, signing off, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.